Morning YouTube and welcome back to my channel. This is Birdie Golfer and today we are at the stunning Balumby Castle Golf Club in Dundee. So today I'm going to be using the Trackman, which is a flight scope tracking system before I play 18 holes of golf. So this today is my office. So this is the system that I'm going to be using today. So the whole reason for this is that this afternoon I pick up my new Gen 3 golf clubs. So I want to do a comparison of my current clubs compared with my Gen 3. So I will come back and do another one of these next week, hopefully, or within the next few days. And then I will obviously publish everything on my YouTube channel. But today, as I said, we're going to do 18 holes. It is winter greens, but as you can see, the weather today is beautiful. Apart from it is 6 degrees, so I will need to be putting on the woolly hats. But yeah, it's a fresh morning. Beautiful autumn colours here, because obviously the time of the year that we have. It is a golf course that I have played several times before. I do really like it. I've not played it since roughly May last year, so it will be good to see if my scores are lower than what they were last year. The last time I played it, I had 16 holes of sun, and then the last 3 holes, so 16, 17 and 18, it absolutely chucked it down with rain. And unfortunately I was wearing shorts and t-shirt that day. I got absolutely drenched. So wasn't the best end of a round, but my round I was very happy with. So there was no chance I was stopping when I was only 3 holes away from the end anyway. So yeah, really looking forward to getting to play today. It is either winter greens or winter tees that we will be playing, so won't be the full course unfortunately, just due to the weather conditions. There has been a lot of rain over the last few days, but this is general for Scotland. Normally November, December, etc., they do use the winter greens, which is to try and allow the green keeping staff to do work on the greens for the next season, which I do totally understand. So yeah, no issues at all with that. But it's always a lovely course to get out and play. It's always generally in very good condition as well. There is some very taxing holes. If you are a long hitter of the ball, especially with a driver, then it can be quite rewarding. Whereas my distances aren't great off the tee, but it is something that I am currently working on at the moment. So I'll go get warmed up. I'm then here for an hour before I then have my tea time slot, and I will be doing some analysis as I'm going through the different clubs in my bag. Okay, so I've now hit 10 shots with my 60-degree wedge. Very happy actually with how I seem to be striking the ball at the moment. Not sure if you can see this, but that's the area there where I've actually been hitting the ball. So we will have a look at the analysis and see how we get on. Okay guys, so this is the information that I get off of the Trackman. So on this side here, the right hand side of the screen, you can actually see my dispersion. This middle picture here is my ball flights, and then down this side here is the actual distances that I have been hitting each of the balls. Along the bottom you have, if it's set up for club path, attack angle, your club speed, your face to path, the ball speed, the carry, the total, your spin rate, your dynamic loft, and also your land average as well. So, you know, I've only hit 6 balls as a warm-up before this. I would like them to be slightly closer, but I have 6 here within that square, which is pretty close to each other, to be perfectly honest. So they are 57.9, 62.6, 55.5, 55.9, 56.4, 55.1, 58.8. So out of that I have 1, 2, 3 that are within 1 yard of each other. So, you know, not bad at all. I think that my wedge will actually max out at around about 60 yards, so I'm not a million miles away from where I think that I am. So generally quite happy with that. So I will get started with my different my different irons, so I can try and get the results for them also. Alright, so that's another 10 balls hit. Obviously I'm only videoing 3 of each, because if not then the video would be very, very long. So let's see how we got on with the pitching wedge. Okay, so that's the results there for the pitching wedge. Lengths are very short compared with what I was thinking I was over in Oman, which seems to be a very common theme, which is one of the reasons I'm actually doing this. But again, I do have quite a good grouping of 6 or 7 balls, all within a very small area of each other. So I would be generally quite happy with that. But obviously the lengths I would be hoping for longer. But yeah, strike contact was very good. Ball flight, as you can see there, quite happy with that. And if I scroll through, all of them seem to be very similar sort of ball flights. There is a lot of wind out there, unfortunately, guys. So that will be having an effect on things. But if anything, you can see that my ball starts very slightly left. It does generally come back, but not always. So potentially that is the lie of my clubs, is maybe out by a degree. So it will be something that I will look at with my Golf Pro to try and get that improved as well. So, you know, if I had everything in a small line here, it would obviously be straighter. So that's the center line there. As you can see, the majority of the balls are coming back almost to that, but not quite. So if it's a case of just changing the lie by maybe 1 degree or 2 degrees to then improve my game from 100, 120 yards, then that is definitely something that I will look into to get down to single digits. Okay, so there was one there that was not a very good hit at all, and my fingers are actually still tingling after it. But there's 10 shots, and I've literally hit the sweet spot on every single one of them. So let's see how we got on. Okay, so as you can see, the shot up the top there that gave me the tingling fingers has went massive distance compared with everything else. It went 129.2 yards. This is a 9-iron that I'm using, but you can see all the other balls there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, are all within quite a small yardage, and generally in quite a tight little group actually, so really quite happy with that. 108.5, 106.8, 104.2, 113, 115.7, 104.5, 106.8, 110.3. So they were all within 11 yards of each other. Obviously we'd like to get that down to potentially 5 or 6 yards, so this smaller area here, but yeah, still generally happy with that, so we will keep going. Okay, so again, 10 shots. I actually haven't even needed to look at that. I could feel that every single one of them was right out the sweet spot. So let's see how we go, guys. 149.2, 149.9, 147.1, 151.0, 143.7, 147.9, 151.0, 148.1. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 that I can read on the screen straight away. There was one that had no data, so there is one that's here, but generally everything else is there. So again, same sort of theme, everything is just very slightly to the left, so it is something that we'll need to look at. But within that, I had 8 yards of a difference from front to back, so generally again quite happy with that. I was aiming for 5 to 6 yards, but yeah, still quite happy. So that's a 7-iron. I would have been thinking 155 when I was over in Oman, so I had 2 that were exactly 151, which is only 4 yards of a difference. But even speaking to the Gulf Pro here, regarding how short everything is, he said yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous compared with what I am used to. So we'll just need to keep going, but that's almost the end of my hour, so I'm about to go out onto the course.